Well, speaking of, as you mentioned, Tucker Carlson, they wanted to try to throw him in jail or, short of that, assassinate him. The first business day after this assassination attempt, Trump's legal team got some great news. The judge down in southern Florida, Judge Cannon, dismissed the entire case against Trump in the so-called document gate case, but most importantly, not for reasons about the facts of the case, but because it was illegally brought unconstitutionally, because the person, Jack Smith, bringing it was not appointed properly under the Constitution. So whatever is going on, it was an illegal case, unconstitutional, completely thrown out. And you've been predicting this for a while. So what was your reaction?
Well, Justice Thomas gave her the roadmap, and this comes into the category. Put this in the "who knew" file,
Right.
because as Judge Cannon notes in her decision, okay, so you have this custom now of head of a department, meaning the Justice Department, just appointing these roving prosecutors with unlimited budgets. But that custom doesn't mean anything. The fact is, there's no authorization for it. There
Hmm.
was no Senate confirmation. There was no congressional statute signed into law by the president, such as the special counsel law, which expired in 1991. So, what was the statutory basis for the appointment of this private citizen, as former Attorney General Meese noted in his amicus brief in the Supreme Court, to go after Trump with more power than a U.S. attorney? And
Hmm.
now, ridiculously enough, this shows just what a sicko Jack Smith is. He intends to appeal this decision. 93 pages, Judge Cannon's decision, a meticulous examination of all the claims for alternate sources of authority for appointment of this character to go after Trump. And they all come up empty. There just is no authority to take a private citizen, enrobe him with absolute prosecutorial power and an unlimited budget, and set him up against the political rival of basically the chief executive and head of the Justice Department, Biden.
No, it's interesting. This poor judge, the media has just pilloried her. And first of all, they always say Trump appointed. They always have to throw that in. And secondly, there are all these stories overwhelmed, in over her head. Doesn't have a legal mind. But I read the opinion as the reference, and it was really incredibly impressive. Legal writing, legal analysis, the opposite of what the news media would have you believe about this lady.
It's a landmark. And now, with an opinion of that quality going up to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, can you imagine a three-judge panel striking down that opinion after this assassination attempt and
Yeah.
telling the American people that Trump has to go to trial for possessing classified documents that every single president before him took with him after his office expired?
Right.
Trump alone would be prosecuted for this after they almost killed him. Can you imagine the 11th Circuit
Yeah. Never.
striking down that decision? Or if it gets to the Supreme Court, if they're stupid enough to do that, can you imagine the United States Supreme Court imposing on the American people the spectacle of Trump being put on trial after he is elected for a paperwork offense no one else has ever been prosecuted before?
Yeah. Well, and interestingly, I mean, it should affect the DC case
Yeah,
because if he's an unconstitutional private prosecutor, he is there as well. It's the same. Viewers don't know it's the same person, Jack Smith, bringing that other
right.
phony case. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the D.C.
So
Circuit Court of Appeals, being utterly ideologically motivated, could conceivably reject the arguments of Judge Cannon. Even if the 11th Circuit opposes, you might have a circuit split. So then you'd have a circuit split between the 11th Circuit and the D.C. Circuit, and that would go to the Supreme Court. And I think the Supreme Court has had quite enough of this
yeah,
endless pursuit of Donald J. Trump, and probably would indicate, yeah, if you want a special counsel, you really need a special counsel statute. And
right.
that one expired. So too bad, Jack Smith. Go home.
No, for all their divisions and problems, the message I see clearly from the Supreme Court is stop this. Like, we
Yeah,
don't want to deal with this. We don't want any. I mean, from the case to get them off the ballot to the immunity, they're basically saying we're not. We don't want to be involved in this. Get rid of these cases. That I mean, that's if I were whatever your political beliefs, that clearly is what the Supreme Court's message is. Which I think, frankly, was their message in 2020 on the election cases. We want to run and hide. We don't want to be involved. I think it's the same message they're sending now, but the Democrats just won't give up.